Hello, fellow comrades. Once again, welcome. This is your Rabbi Afol reaching you live this evening. It excites me when we meet like this for such homely chats. What I wish to say is that if this is your first time you are seeing me, please would you subscribe and then hit on the notification bell and then share this video because it's loaded with a lot of information. You can have a look at my other videos that I've really made. Now, today I wish to discuss personal concerns, or items that are taken from the target and then they are brought into the spell and then they are inculcated into the spell so that you get good results. And I want us to have a look at these items, and we'll start with the hair. The hair, I'm talking of the hair. The hair of the target can be inculcated in some of our spells to give us very good influence over our target. Sometimes it becomes very difficult to get the hair, but if you are a bit, cunning, you can easily get it. There have been instances where we use a sellotape just to touch the person's hair, so that you just need a single strand of the personal consent to add to your spell so that it can trigger off. And then you can also use the toothbrush of the person. That means that if you find the toothbrush, the toothbrush involves a liquid from our mouth, which is dried on the toothbrush. This can also be used as a personal concern. You must always remember that some of these things, some of these personal concerns, when we push them into our spells, it makes our spells powerful, and some of them too will need to do a lot of visualization. As we go on, I'll be explaining. You see, so you can also use the toothbrush, and then you can also use an unwashed piece of clothing. Unwashed piece of clothing. If you remember, Elijah and Elisha. Elisha only had to take up the mantle of Elijah, and then he gets a double portion of the spirit of Elijah. Meaning that our clothing, our caps, all the things that we use on us has got our personal vibration in them. You understand? So those of you who have been going for second-hand goods, etc., used goods, normally when you buy them, you need to really cleanse them of these vibrations. Even staying in a room, you can leave your vibrations there, because I've seen a very, very humble guy who went to live in a room which was being occupied, was formerly being occupied by a recalcitrant guy. Immediately the guy went to live in the room, he picked up the vibration of the former tenant, and then his lifestyle began to change. And so in living such a room, you need to do some cleansing. What I'm driving is that whatever we use on earth, and even where we stay, we leave our vibrations in them, and this amounts to the personal concern that we can use. So the clothing, and the clothing is good. It could be the underwear, it could be the dress. If the clothing is an unwashed one, then it means that the sweat and everything has been left in the clothing. Sometimes you only need to pull a thread from the clothing. It's not very necessary that you pick the whole clothing, which sometimes becomes suspicious, or you cut just a wee bit of the the clothing, so that you can push them into your spells for good and perfect results. Then sometimes you can use the hat. You can use the hat, the cap, etc. And then one of the most potent of all the personal concerns is the sexual fluid. It is the most potent of all. And when I'm talking about the sexual fluid, when we have had sex, sometimes you need to clean some of the semen of the man, or you clean the lady. When you want to use this, make sure that you don't get mixed up in it. You understand? Then you can pick that of the lady or pick that of the man, and then you use the towel that you used in the, as a personal concern, and it's very effective. One of the most potent of all the spiritual items is the menstrual blood. It is very potent, especially when it is used for love rituals. It is very difficult to be broken, and it's one of the most potent of all the personal concerns that you will get. Sometimes you can also take napkins, and then the yearbook, yes, then tissues that say somebody has is used in cleaning his spittle. All these things are personal concern which can also be used. And then sometimes people collect the bath water of the person, the urine, etc. All these liquids are some of the personal concern. And then you can also pick the sand or from the footprint of a person. When you are doing that, you need to scoop just within the footprint, and then this also can be used in spiritual work. And then sometimes even the writings of someone can also be used. The writings of someone who has a letter written can be torn, or a statement written by his handwriting can be torn, and then it is also used in this. Normally, this involves you do a lot of visualization so that you have good results. And then I've seen cases where people with their personal concern can push them into dolls, and then sometimes image candles. You can pick some of the candle, the wax from underneath the image candle, and then you push in the personal concern. And then normally what we also do is that we baptize the items. Yes, you can also use eggs. You can baptize an egg in the name of someone, and then you use them in our spells. These are some of the personal concerns that one can use in his spell work and have very good results. There are many that I might not have mentioned, but you can use your own mind to create. But all these things must come from the target, and then you are going to get results. Yes, today I've been treating the personal concerns that are used in our spell work. It excites me when I bring such knowledge, which are very they are very few but very explicit. And I will say that tonight too, I'm happy I've brought you some knowledge. Stay blessed, ladies and gentlemen, fellow comrades. This is your Rabbi Doctor, reaching you live from Ewutubo Biase. I say shalom, 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 Baruch Hashem. Stay blessed.